Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Anonymous, and in this channel, we talk about gang stalking, we talk about manipulation, we talk about perception, and we also talk about my experience with gang stalking. So, I finally understand why is it that gang stalking seems to take a lot of forms, a lot of shapes, and it is never one consistent idea that goes throughout the entire experience. And that is because everyone is doing everything different. Everyone's task is to do something that makes no sense. So when this is happening and everyone is doing something that is illogical, that they gang stalkers give the impression of glitches in the matrix, of sounds that are apparently coming out of nowhere, things that make no sense, that just make no logical sense. And that is why the brain is so confused all the time. I also realized that gang stalkers are always making a lot of faces. It is not only a gang stalker grin, it is a face of disappointment, of surprise, a lot of faces. And the brain is always trying to make sense of everything. And because the brain is trying to make sense of everything, it creates this narrative. The narrative that everyone is against the person, the voices, the vision, everything. So the mind starts trying to make logic out of the illogical, and which leads to the voices in your head, because it has to have a center of a something that commands the group. It has to have a queen bee, or it just has to try to make sense of everything that's going on. So I saw this when I had a one-on-one encounter with a gang stalker, who was my friend before. But it was obvious what he was doing, because I had an idea of what was going on, yet I was never able to put my finger quite on what they were doing. So they're literally just doing things that make no sense. So for example, pretend that they're recording you, but then letting you know that they're actually on a phone call, and then you're going to be able to hear the other person talking. They're going to pretend that there's going to be a sound somewhere, and the thing is that you start seeing things because you get used to the illogical things happening. So if you hear a noise somewhere, you expect a person to be there. So then if there isn't a person there, your mind is going to start reformulating the sounds, reformulating the shadows that you see, reformulating the everything, in order to make that in order to get to give me 1 second. I'm not sure how to explain this, but if your mind thinks that there's someone there, then your mind will pretty much focus on that, and it's gonna try to realize that the person is there. So it's pretty much gonna be alerted. So every one of your senses are gonna be heightened, particularly in that area. Even if you don't want to, your mental focus is gonna be there, or at least part of it. And then you're gonna be extra aware of all the sounds, everything. And then you're gonna start interpreting every sound or things that are behind you. Like if you hear leaves being carried on the ground by the wind, you're gonna start. Your mind is gonna interpret that as I don't know, the step of someone, where you believe someone is. But yeah, your mind will do its best to pretty much make it appear like there's someone there, because it's trying to increase your possibility of your survival by preparing you to let you know that there is danger lurking in a corner. It's quite uncanny. It's amazing. It's an experience, and yeah. So most of the time that I was feeling, well, yeah, most of the time that I was feeling my car sway, it was literally, um, a hallucination. I did see people like here and there like twice, so I know it's a mixture of both. But because my mind was already expecting someone there, it recreated someone being there. It's uncanny. I cannot believe that again. I was convinced of something that is so implausible. I found it particularly tough because it was, wherever I was, I always, and the only time that actually happens when it's following you everywhere and when it's bothering you everywhere is because it's a hallucination. Now, yesterday, well, I'm going to clarify with you that gang stalking is real. It is. And there are only some people who are gang stalkers and some who aren't. But the ones who are, they pretty much keep adding momentum so that you stay in the false narrative. So they're going to be doing the gang stalking signals that we talked about. But their job is to make you is to keep you with the belief that everyone is against you. So it is for your best benefit, if you're a target, to deny the gang stalking signals as them being a confirmation of whoever is doing them a gang stalker, because that is what is gonna make you is gonna make you stay in the trance. If you try to make sense of everything, you're gonna have a really hard time because everyone is doing things that don't make sense. So you have to not pay attention to what they're doing. Just keep in mind, everyone is doing things that do not make sense. And nothing actually, when you're getting gang stalked by a lot of people, don't worry about making sense of things. Just focus on what you're doing. That's the truth. Yesterday this is exactly what I did. I kept myself not concerning about the logic of what my coworkers were doing, and I kept myself reminding me, do not antagonize anything, do not antagonize words, do not antagonize anything or anyone. And you're gonna stay disconnected. And guess what? I have been disconnected since that happened. I have to go to work. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be posting a lot more starting today. Bye.